Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tavern Adjacent. Today, we've got some fun stuff to talk about. Dungeons & Dragons NFTs are a thing, and while these are not official NFTs, they are a fan-made project, a homebrew project made under the 5th edition license. It's still something that definitely caught my eye, to say the least. I mean, the price tag especially caught my eye. But yes, what is this D&D 5th edition, the first ever TTRPG 5e project on the blockchain? What is it? What does it mean? We're going to talk about that. And then after that, we're going to talk about something a little bit more fun. We're going to talk about how I introduced two of my best friends to Dungeons & Dragons, how they got into the game, and the experience of getting new people into this game for the first time. It's been a really enjoyable thing that we've been doing over the past week, and I want to talk about it on the podcast because introducing new people to TTRPGs is something that is really awesome, and I think I have some cool insights on it based on this most recent experience. And then we'll end it off with some good old thing of the week for the end of the episode. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the blockchain. The intro's done. We've got to talk about this now. NFTs and cryptocurrency. If you've been on this channel, I think I've brought it up a couple times, but I don't talk about it a lot. Guys, I really don't like NFTs, and I know a lot of people don't like NFTs, but I really hate NFTs, crypto bros, all that garbage. Just don't like it. I don't like it at all. So unfortunately, if you're here thinking, oh my god, Crispy's gonna defend this, homebrew NFT project. Sorry, man. You're on the wrong show. You're in the way wrong area. So a lot of people have been dreading for a long time Dungeons & Dragons NFTs from Wizards of the Coast. And I highly doubt that that's going to happen, particularly because NFTs took a steep decline in popularity in such a short period of time. I mean, there are few things that will get you hated on the internet faster than shilling for some BS NFT scam. There's just nothing that'll get you hated faster. Even if the NFT project is trying to be legit, you're still going to be hated because people just don't like NFTs. And for good damn reason. There are many reasons to dislike NFTs and cryptocurrency. James Janney put a great documentary together. And obviously, Dan Olson's documentary on NFTs and cryptocurrency is also really good. Dan Olson's is longer, 4 hours long, but has more information. James Janney, shorter, under an hour long with better presentation. Both are very valuable. I think both are great looks into the problems with cryptocurrency and NFTs. And I think both are worth your time if you have it. So this is called, let me get the name up because it's called The Glimmering. The Glimmering Project, which is quite the brand name, let me tell you. This is put together by, their name is so stupid, Gripnr, 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 I believe the name is supposed to be pronounced. They are a new development company. This project was announced 11 months ago with an ad that circulated on YouTube. You probably did not really notice it though. I mean, you probably saw it at some point if you're in the D&D space and you were on YouTube. You probably got it at some point. However, the advertisement was long. It was over 2 minutes long, which meant you could skip it. So after 5 seconds, you probably just skipped, thought it was some BS mobile game, and then moved on with your life. But no, it was actually D&D 5th edition NFTs made under the open game license. Yeah, sorry I had to bring that up. I know many of you have heard enough about the open game license over the past couple months for no particular reason at all. No, absolutely not. But yeah, this is made under the open game license, and it's a Dungeons & Dragons NFT project. Now, what does that actually entail? Well, from the surface level, it's just like any other NFT project. It is a series of digital artworks that are put onto OpenSea, which is a digital trading site for NFTs and blockchain stuff. And you can buy them, and they increase in value, they decrease in value as demand goes up and down. You buy them with Ethereum. It's just another blockchain NFT project, just like CryptoKitties or Bored Ape Yacht Club or any of that other BS. There are 10,000 of these NFTs in the Genesis collection. That is the initial launch of these. They are basically just digital artworks that are generated. Now, each asset is hand-drawn by an artist who apparently is big in the album cover world and the comic world. And honestly, I was initially going to say that the art isn't bad, but I'm sure as you're scrolling by, you're probably going to notice that a lot of it is quite miserable looking. These are not like custom pieces. So basically what the artist did was draw a bunch of different features, thousands of different features, like different weapons, clothing items, eye colors, different, body shapes for the different races, and different, different outfits for the different classes, hairstyles, hair colors, etc. Drew all those up, and then they had, a machine put them all together in a program, and you generate thousands of NFTs based on thousands of assets. That's how these are generally made. That's how Bored Ape Yacht Club is done. That's how Crypto Kitties is, I'm sure. I don't even know if that's a real thing, honestly, Crypto Kitties, but I just made that up. I'm sure it's a real thing somewhere because there's so many of these projects. Because if you hire enough people and you have a decent enough machine, you can generate thousands of NFTs, mint them on the blockchain, and hope to God tons of people buy them so you get tons of money in your pocket as the creator. Now, I don't know if that's the goal of the creators of this particular NFT project, the Glimmering, but we're going to get into their goal right now. So they've made all of these Dungeons and Dragons NFTs with a bunch of generated characters, gnomes, dragonborn, tieflings. I don't know if they're allowed to use dragonborn and tieflings because all the third-party companies I've worked with avoid trademark names like that. But we're not going to think about it because I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But if you're a lawyer, might want to think about it. They've generated all these D&D characters, given them some BS names, and put them on a blockchain. What is the actual goal? What is this for? Are people just going to buy these and hope to God that they'll increase in value so they can sell them like any other NFT? Well, according to the white paper of this NFT project, The Glimmering, that's not all that they hope for. Now, if you don't know what a white paper is, a white paper is essentially a mission statement. It's like the plan for these NFTs. It's what they want. Now, it is important to say that The Glimmering, this NFT project, has not yet released. It will release on March 30th, so only in a couple of weeks, this NFT project will come out. Now, specifically, I actually have their white paper pulled up right now, so I can quote it. I have marked some stuff. They talk a lot about the art of these NFTs, and that is a huge bulk of what they're talking about. But they open up with the problem. It's hard. It's so hard for creators to keep track of sales and potential royalties for their efforts. It's so hard for third-party companies to keep track of everything that they're doing. They need the blockchain. The blockchain is the only way for third-party publishers to continue in the D&D space. We need the blockchain. The blockchain is our savior because it's so hard for us to keep track of how many people are buying or actually, no, it's not. What are you talking about? This whole problem section, I remember reading this and laughing my ass off because, yes, look, there are times where it's hard to keep track of all the demographics and information associated with your business. I think that's not just D&D or TTRPGs. That's everything. It's just hard to keep track of lots of information, especially since on the internet, it's easy to get information overload. I mean, I have the YouTube Analytics app on my phone, and sometimes, I get overloaded by the amount of just graphs and color-coded nonsense that YouTube throws at me because it's a lot of information. But I'm going to tell you right now, the blockchain is not the fix for that. If you don't know what the blockchain is, by the way, I know I've used that term a lot here. I'm kind of going in with the assumption that you understand at least a little bit about NFTs, but a blockchain is essentially like if I had to make a comparison, it would be like a change log. A change log that is supposed to be immutable and unchangeable and openly auditable by the public. You can just go into the blockchain and see what people are doing. That's how a lot of those crypto scams are exposed because the activities of the scammers are publicly auditable on the blockchain. That's kind of the whole point. And while the blockchain is great for exposing how many scumbags are on there, it's honestly an activity log. It's a pretty well-designed activity log. We have those, especially in online business. Remember, what this whole project really is a bunch of D&D characters with stats, and that's it. Just some generated characters that you can buy. And that's what the project is. Even if keeping track of sales was a problem, how does one connect to the other? Usually when you see a BS NFT project, you see it at least have a solution that is looking for a problem, right? Here, I don't even know how the solution and the problem even connect. Like, you have a problem of keeping track of sales, not real, but let's hypothetically pretend it is. How is selling these generated D&D characters going to fix that? I guess their plan is, we're going to normalize playing on the blockchain for more people, so everyone will be on the blockchain, and therefore we'll solve this made-up problem of keeping track of stats. Great job, guys. Awesome. Well done. We've solved all the issues with TTRPG industry. Everything is fixed now. Congratulations. Well done, Gripner. I've talked long enough about what it looks like on the surface. What's it actually like trying to buy these things? Because you can currently list, you can get listed NFTs, and you can see the listed price for some of the NFTs. Right now, the base price, and let me exaggerate that this is right now as of recording this podcast. Right now, the listed price is 1.85 ETH, which at the time of recording this podcast, you saw the title, that's almost $3,000. $3,000 for one of these generated NFTs. And let me make this clear. This isn't custom artwork. This is generated art that you're just buying off of a website. This isn't a character you made. These aren't even stats that you wrote down. You're just buying it off a website. Let me make this clear. Half of the joy of Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs is making the character. I love making characters. We're going to get into how fun making characters actually is in a little bit, at least to me, because we're going to talk about how I made characters with two of my friends who are getting into D&D. But look, these aren't characters that we're making. These are characters that were generated literally by a robot, and they're expecting us to buy them for thousands of dollars. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, well, Crispy, you're buying the art. Now, anyone with half a brain will understand that that is a ridiculous-ass excuse, because $3,000 for any sort of art piece, you better be giving us something nice. But you know what? I'll entertain you. Because, I actually... There's an artist I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of lots of artists because, art is cool. And I'm on ArtStation a lot looking at portfolios and such because I think there's a lot of really, really cool people out there making some really, really cool stuff. But in any case, Brian Monkus, I'm on his portfolio right now. He's an artist in the Destiny community. He makes some incredible stuff, and he is open for commission. You can commission him to make incredible art of your characters, not just Destiny characters, but I assume any sort of character, since his website doesn't list any stipulations. So he is free to draw whatever you need for your games. And as you can see, his art is absolutely brilliant. I have been following this guy for years. And while I can't afford one of his commissions myself, let's look at the price of one of his custom commissions. Now, keep in mind that this is a professional artist, a man who's worked in this industry for years, taking your ideas and putting them directly on the paper with your feedback. To hire Brian Monkus for one character is $400 to $450. Not cheap, but worth it, in my opinion at least, because damn, his art's great. But is infinitely worth it when you compare it to the price of these crappy NFTs. These NFTs that are thousands of dollars. Now again, we can only see 3. Only 3 are currently listed, and they also list 99 owners. So clearly there are more out there, but right now 3 are listed. We'll see how that changes when it's properly launched. But even if the price is cut in half, even if it's a third, are you paying $1,000 for some character that a robot generated? Really? And the white paper goes on and on about how painstaking it was to create this art. And I'm sure a lot of effort went into creating all of the assets, but you cannot even compare it to so many of the people that you can commission online to draw a character that you actually came up with, that you created. Again, half of the thing that makes this game special is the creativity involved. And with these NFTs, you're literally paying thousands to remove that creativity, which is ridiculous. Now, when it comes to the actual game itself, because there is a game involved, there is an adventure. The Glimmering is an adventure, and there is an actual game designer behind this. They have an actual play on their YouTube channel that doesn't have a lot of attention, which, in my opinion, is a great piece of foreshadowing to how successful this project is going to be. I have consumed all of their content. I am probably the only person who's consumed all their content, watched a number of interviews, watched a bit of their actual play, their advertisements. A lot of it is just about buying the NFTs, connecting your wallet to the proper channel so you can get the NFTs off OpenSea, which, yeah, that's not nightmarish at all. In fact, when you go to their white paper, the game, the game itself, the actual game gets half a page. This is like an 11-page white paper, and you're telling me that the game only gets half a page of description? And most of the game part is just talking about the open game license and how, guys, trust us, this is in fact legal. We can sell D&D characters for thousands of dollars. Which, look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm sure that they've done their homework, and I'm sure that through some miracle of God, this is legal. But I don't care that it's legal. That doesn't mean it's right. All right? It's still bullshit that this project even exists. You are buying access, I suppose, into like this really exclusive club of Dungeons and Dragons NFT enthusiasts to play this adventure together. They seem to have some sort of in-house VTT to play on, though you can also apparently play in person and log what happened on the blockchain. Based on that, your party can get some form of in-game rewards. Which, cool, I guess? But also not really. At least it's not some kind of play to earn fiasco where if you play a certain amount of hours, you get a certain amount of money in some dystopian hellscape. If you haven't seen the hellscape of play to earn, especially down in the Philippines, it's bad. It's really bad. This is play to progress, which, yeah, that's how all games work. You need to play them in order to progress. What the hell are you talking about? The fact they described it as a play to progress RPG. Yeah, idiot. That's what it should be. That's what all RPGs are. What are you on? Anyway, that's just another thing that frustrates me about this whole project. The reason NFTs and cryptocurrency exist isn't to change the world for the better. It's so people can make money, which is fine. If you want to make money, that's fine. I make money off these podcasts and this channel. All right, I clearly don't have a problem with making money. I think it's good to make a living and to support yourself, especially support yourself doing the thing you love. But this ain't it. All right, there are 1,000 issues with NFTs, but at a baseline, stuff like this robs Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs of what makes them special, the creativity. What's hilarious to me is that during that same interview I just talked about, they joke about needing to kidnap new developers. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Who the fuck wants to work on this crap? The game designer behind this, the lead game designer, is a man who is accomplished in the TTRPG field. I do believe that this guy really cares about the industry and about these games. But when you do crap like this, it really doesn't show. Right? Who the hell is this going to appeal to at a baseline? First and foremost, I don't know many people who can afford to buy a $3,000 Dungeons and Dragons character when you can so easily make one for free. I mean, damn, a couple weeks ago, I was making fun of a gaming table from Wormwood. I was making fun of Wormwood for making a $4,000 gaming table. Now I seem like an idiot because now I'm talking about $3,000 D&D characters, so holy hell. How the world has progressed how my vision has progressed in the past week. Wonderful. How my eyes have opened to new forms of absolute ridiculous money wasting. But seriously, who is going to buy this? People were agreeing with me in the comments, no, I would never buy that table. Do you think anyone's going to buy these $3,000 characters? Hell, even if it was $100, people are still not going to buy these? For what? So the audience it's going to attract are people who just want to make a quick buck off of it. And that's why this project is probably not going to succeed. It's probably going to be just another NFT dumpster fire. Which, I'm not mad about it. I'd rather this turn into a dumpster fire than turn into a trend. Let me tell you that much. I don't want crypto TTRPGs to be common ever. And the fact that this is a project that even started and that has continued and that's even releasing in 2 weeks, let me remind you, pisses me off, guys, as you can tell. Sorry that this podcast is really rambly. I'm not exactly CoffeeZilla. I don't have a script. I researched, obviously, but I don't have a script to do this off of. So I'm kind of just like going as I go. But I hope you guys pull something out of that. In summary, don't buy into this crap. If you're even thinking about buying into this project, just don't. But I know you guys. I know Crispy's Tavern. I know you guys. I know that you guys are smarter than that. I know that you guys know that this is all just bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit to make money off of the people who need the money the most, right? The only people that make money off of these damn NFT projects are usually just the guys at the top, and that's it. They can talk all they want about how we're all gonna make it, but it's a zero-sum game, and the whole purpose of it is that some people don't fucking make it. And that's probably gonna be you who doesn't. Sorry. So don't buy into this. What a pleasant topic that was. Let's move on. Let's talk about something a lot more fun. I brought it up earlier, and of course I brought it up during the intro, but a couple of my friends, couple of my best friends, they randomly, I invited them to my house, and one of them came in before the other, and she was just like, well, I need to make a D&D character. I'm in a game in 2 days. And I'm like, oh crap, you guys are getting into D&D? And it was one of the best nights of my life because two of my best friends finally got into a hobby that I love so much. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about introducing new people to these amazing games. Alright, so I'm back. I watched some history of the royal veto of Britain. I don't even know what I was doing during the break. But anyway, I'm back to talk about something that I'm also passionate about. I'm passionate about hating cryptocurrency, clearly, but I'm also passionate about just TTRPGs in general, and more importantly, introducing new people to these games. If you're unaware, I've played with, I'm pretty specific with the groups that I play with. I like playing with people who I'm good friends with. I play with colleagues, like other people on YouTube for short campaigns, but for longer stuff, I prefer to play with good friends because I like introducing people to these games, and usually I'll introduce people who are friends of mine to Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop. And recently, these two people I'm about to talk about, they did not join my game, but randomly, I was inviting two of my friends, Natalia and Sam, they're a couple, to my house. And not my house, to my place. I live in an apartment. Sorry, I don't know why I say house. I invited them to my place, and, when Natalia, she got here first, she walked up to me and said, hey, Crispy, I need your help making a D&D character. And I was like, why, may I ask? And turned out she is playing a game on vacation with some other of my friends, and I was really excited. In fact, I found out that one of my other friends, Ethan, he is not involved in the story, but he's going to be the DM, and I was so hyped about that because, oh my god, completely not to my knowledge, a bunch of my friends are getting into Dungeons and Dragons out of the blue. That's amazing. Apparently, Ethan just found out how to 3D print some dice towers and was like, screw it, I'm gonna be a DM now. So he became a dungeon master and invited a bunch of my friends to play D&D with him. And I was like, hell yeah. So Sam and Natalia, this couple who I'm best friends with, they came by my house and we made D&D characters. Sam had actually already made a character. I actually referenced this in some previous videos. He had some god tier stats that he rolled. So, Natalia wanted my help to make another awesome character for her. They had never heard of D&D Beyond. She had never heard of any of the classes, and introducing her to everything was honestly, it was kind of overwhelming because as a dungeon master, I'm used to people having some grasp of what D&D is, but Natalia had no grasp at all. So, explaining everything to her was a challenge because I didn't want to explain everything. Because if you explain everything, you're going to overwhelm someone. So you got to pick and choose what you explain and how you explain it. And that was the big challenge. Now, first and foremost, when I was doing this whole process, started off by using D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond has been a tool I have used to get new people into the game for a long time because it turns character creation into something really simple. just like a multiple choice BuzzFeed quiz, if you will. Nice and easy to get into, nice and simple. You don't need to go through the books. You don't need to scroll through. You don't need to flip through a bunch of stuff. You just go onto the website and you just click a couple buttons and then you're done. Easy peasy. And throughout that process, I explain what the buttons mean. I think that the argument of, character generators make it too easy to make a character and then you won't understand your abilities. And I think that's true to a degree, but if you have someone there to explain what the abilities are, then that's not a problem. Also, if you're just not lazy and you read stuff like you should on those websites, you will also know what they mean. I think D&D Beyond and other tools like it are just excellent for making characters, especially if you're a new player, and especially if you're trying to teach someone how to make a character for the game. She chose to make a halfling rogue because she thought hobbits were cool, and she thought the lucky trait where you could reroll ones was amazing, and she thought that warlock was neat. I hope I said warlock. I think she also wanted to play rogue for a second, so I might have said rogue earlier. Hopefully I didn't. She wanted to play warlock. She ended up playing warlock because warlock gets Eldritch Blast, and when I described Eldritch Blast and the spells to her, she thought that was really cool, so she ended up going with that, especially since her boyfriend Sam was also playing a half-caster. He was playing a paladin, so she wanted access to more spells because she thought the spells sounded cool. So she took halfling, took warlock, and, she wasn't really thinking about role-playing. She didn't even come up with a name at the time. She saved that for the future. She was just mostly focused on the game part of the game, which is normal. A lot of people who get into D&D will get more into the game aspect of the game. And I have talked before about how in my home games, I'm very combat and game orientated. I'm not really, I don't roleplay a lot in my home games. On my stream games, the ones I put on camera, I roleplay a ton because I love role-playing. I do love, voice acting and playing all these characters and doing intricate, in-depth storylines. I love doing that, don't get me wrong. But, for my friends, my IRL friends, that's not what all of them are into. A lot of them are more into shenanigans and killing things, which is fine. Both styles are perfectly valid. I experience both and I love both. But for Natalia and Sam, they were much more focused on the game part of the game, not the story part of the game. They were getting into this from the perspective of, we're going to play, not we're going to experience, if you know what I mean. And again, perfectly valid. Both ways of playing are valid. But yeah, eventually Sam came over and he marveled at how fast D&D Beyond was because it took him hours and hours to really take in how to create a character and how the game works. He was learning everything from scratch. Both of them were, because neither of them really understood how D&D worked. So I explained to them, the basic rules of how it works. The D20 is your Lord and Savior, how that functions in the scope of the game, how the DM works, and how Ethan, the dungeon master for their game, is probably going to run. Because I also talked to him. I gave him some monsters too, because Ethan turned out was a brand new dungeon master. If I didn't allude to that before, he literally just made some dice towers with his 3D printer, which turned out excellent, by the way, and just decided I'm gonna be a DM. I want to run a game. I want to do this. And so, when I was talking to Sam and Natalia, they were texting Ethan, their DM, and hey, we know Crispy, he's pretty good at Dungeons & Dragons, and Ethan, who's a friend of mine, apparently didn't know that. So he texted me, with a few questions. We talked for about an hour, and I gave him a bunch of my Dungeon Master materials so that he could run the game. I gave him a bunch of tokens and stuff to expedite his GMing journey, to make it a bit easier on him, and he was really grateful for that. I also gave him a ton of monsters from Matt Colville's Flea Mortals book, so I could further proselytize the greatness of this tome of beasts, because Flea Mortals is perfect and great in every way. But yeah, it was really fun introducing both Sam and Natalia into the game, and I suppose helping out Ethan, this new dungeon master. Again, it was really hard for me to pick and choose what to talk about. The reason I sent Flea Morals, by the way, I know I joked about it, to show the greatness of the book. Really, the reason I sent it is just because that's what I was working on at the time. I was working on organizing Flea Mortal stat blocks into my drives and organizing them all. And he asked for goblins, and I had all the goblins pulled up, so I was just oh, I'll send him this. I don't know if that was a perfect idea because they are longer stat blocks, and for a new DM, that might be overwhelming. I love Flea Mortals a lot, but I will say, for beginners, I don't know if it's as friendly as the Monster Manual is. Most of the low-level monsters in the Monster Manual are simple, And that does annoy me. That does bother me. I would rather things be more complex because it's easier to take out complexity than to add complexity. That's what I always think. But I do regret, I don't know if I regret it, but I do question my choice of sending him Flea Mortal stat blocks instead of sending him Monster Manual stat blocks. The reason I did that is because that's what I had on hand. But maybe that was the wrong decision in the moment. But it did end up working out. Apparently the game was really fun. So, that's awesome. I will say Ethan was running for 7 players, which I've never done in my life. Like, I have DM'd for years now, and I've never run for 7 people. That would be a lot. So, especially 7 new people who don't really know what's going on with the game. There was not a single veteran there. But you know what? Apparently they had a lot of fun, which is awesome. That's really good to hear. Sam and Natalia, they are actually going to be playing a game with me, a short campaign. I'm going to run an in-person campaign with them, which I haven't done in forever. I've run in-person games, but an in-person campaign, haven't done that in a while. It's not going to be a long campaign because honestly, guys, DMing is a lot of work, and running multiple games a week is a lot on my brain. It's a lot on my noggin, and I don't want to get burnt out on D&D. Like, that's one of the one things I'm like, God, Crispy, do not get burnt out on TTRPGs. You really don't want to get burnt out on those. Like, you can get burnt out on Destiny, okay? If you get burnt out on Destiny, you take a couple weeks off, then you come back and have fun then. You get burnt out on Apex, all good. Take a couple weeks off, come back. But Dungeons and Dragons, I get burnt out on D&D. That would present some issues, because D&D is a major part of my income in my life, and also a big part of keeping up with my friends abroad. Sorry, this wall is totally real and not fake in any way. It totally didn't blow in the wind for any reason at all. Anyway, yeah, it's a big part of my life just in general. So getting burnt out on it would suck. But even though I have worries of burnout, I really want to play with Sam and Natalia and to show them the way I run the game and to see how they play the game. Because, again, they're brand new players. Like, I started DMing with all brand new players, just like Ethan, and we grew up together in this D&D world and learned the game together, and sometimes learned the game in ways that are different from normal. I will one day be brave enough to share my long list of patch notes, largely developed because I simply didn't understand how the game worked and thought that my way was better. And in some cases I was right, and in other cases I was not, but I think it's really cool to shepherd new players, even though that sounds really up my ass. I think it's really cool to show people this game because, I mean, seriously, the looks of oh, whoa, this is so cool that Sam and Natalia had while they were making their characters was just so awesome. Sam was so hyped about his paladin, and that just really warmed my heart. I love seeing people get excited about this thing that I really like. Seeing Natalia split on decisions on what class to pick. I thought she would just kind of be like, oh yeah, I guess I'll pick this. But she was down to a choice of 5 different classes and only eventually got down between Rogue and Warlock and then eventually down to Warlock. And I was making fun of her for taking so long to make a decision. But honestly, I was just joking. Legit, how I felt was, that's awesome. The fact that you're taking so long to make this decision is amazing because it shows that she cared. She really cared about making this character and picking what she thought was really best for her playstyle. I thought that was awesome, even though she had never played before. She wasn't half-assing the decision or rushing the decision. I mean, that character creation process took 40 minutes. That felt normal to me. And it was really cool to see her coming up with all these decisions and to see Sam get so hyped about his character. Even though I wasn't there to see him make it, it was clear he cared. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Even though, the game that they play with Ethan, that's they played it and they had a lot of fun. I am excited to run this game for them though. They texted me when they got back hey, we really enjoyed that and we want to play with you too. When are you available? And honestly, I don't know when I'm going to be available. I'm pretty busy right now, but I feel like I'm going to find the time because playing with new players is truly something that is so damn cool. What I've learned from this is that you just got to let people be excited. That excitement is so much of what makes this game special. And that's by the way, a big reason why I hate that damn NFT project so much is just how cold it is. Like, all the excitement comes out of just shit no one cares about. Blockchain technology, new methods of keeping track of revenue. Like, shit like that is not what makes D&D special at all. What makes this game special is the excitement you get from the creativity of making your character, experiencing the adventure, playing with your friends. That's what matters, right? Blockchain doesn't make any of that better. What makes it better is playing with your friends. Always. Every time. Yeah. Playing with, not even playing with, just experiencing those opening moments of character creation with Sam and Natalia, that was awesome. I think that was a really cool chapter in my DMing life because, I obviously experienced, new players when I was a new DM, but now that I've got a little bit more experience under my belt, it was so cool to teach these guys the ropes and the game, and I'm really excited to play with them. Said that a few times, but it is really true. I hope that you guys have that same experience too, by the way. I really do recommend it. Introducing new people to this game is awesome. And I understand that not everyone has the patience for it. I get that, Playing with people who are experienced, it's great too. All of the players I have in my stream games are obviously experienced. But playing with new players, that's valuable as well, obviously. Without new players, I don't think this game would be a thing. So, yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of new players too, because that D&D movie is coming out. So hopefully we'll get lots of new people playing this game, and I'm really excited for that. I am really, truly excited for that. More now than ever. But with that being said, guys, I think it's time for Thing of the Week. So yeah, cue the thing. This week, my Thing of the Week is this Lego Imperial TIE Bomber. TIE Bomber set. If you guys don't know, I really love Lego. And I got this on vacation at Disneyland. Of course I did. There is a set, a white whale, if you will, that I have my eyes on, that was in the Lego store at Disneyland, and it is Lego Rivendell. That, I'm sure, will be my Thing of the Week in the future. Because I was going to buy it, and I was there with my family, and my parents, who usually should be encouraging me to make smart and prudent financial decisions, were like, no, Crispy, buy that $500 toy. Please do. And I was like, I would. Seriously, trust me, I would do it. But I literally do not have room in my house for any other big Lego sets. This, though, is I think that this is a great set. It was just released, and it is one of my favorite ships. I love TIE fighters. I love their design. I already have a normal TIE fighter on the top shelf. You can't see it because it's all the way up there. But I will put this right next to it because I really do like this design. I talked a lot about the Lego Rivendell set, but it's just so big. I don't have room for it right now. But this, I can hang with some fishing line, put it in my room, decorate it a little bit more, get a whole TIE fighter display. I think that could be really, really damn cool. I really like how the set turned out. When I heard that they were making a TIE Bomber set, I didn't think it would be anything special. But damn, I think this does look really cool, and I'm really hyped to build this. In fact, Lego in general really should be my Thing of the Week, because I've just been building so many Lego sets. I've got this new Minecraft Nether setup on my second shelf. I built the Lego Jazz Quartet, which is up there a while ago, but just for the past month, I've just been getting really back into Lego because I added so much new shelf space for it. And this is just the latest set to be added to my collection. I'm really excited to build it because, honestly, the design just looks excellent. The part to price wasn't bad for a Star Wars set especially. And I'm really excited to build this. It was between this and the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, but I settled on this because TIE Fighters are just too damn cool. And also, I really do look forward to hanging this up. I like theming my displays and having two TIE fighters hanging right next to each other. Damn, that's just too cool not to pass. Just too cool to pass up. It's just too cool to pass up. So yeah, I'm excited to build this. I'm also excited to continue my Lego journey. Really, Lego in general is my Thing of the Week, but I'm excited for this Lego TIE Bomber. I feel like it's gonna be a really cool set, and maybe in a few weeks, let's be honest, I'm gonna build this tomorrow. Maybe in a couple days, you'll see this hanging in my room sometime. But yeah, that's my thing of the week. Hopefully, it'll make this office a little bit more homey. I've been trying to make it more like personalized to me, decorate a little bit, so it doesn't just feel like a place with a desk that I sit in for hours on end. But in any case, I hope you guys also have an amazing thing of the week that makes your week a lot better. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, then please do leave a like. If you want to see more of my content, then you can check out our RPG Horror Story series where we cover the best of the worst of Dungeons and Dragons. It's linked to the cards. And while you're there, subscribe to Crispy's Tavern to get more of our content right as it comes out. And finally, if you want to leave your own stories or thoughts, go down in the comments down below. Also, I know there were no voicemails in this episode, but normally we do voicemails from you guys. You can head into the description where you can click the link and record your own voicemail horror story to get us to respond to them. It's a little bit of $5 therapy for you. That isn't $5. It's completely free. But yeah, if you can't think of a comment, by the way, leave the comment "No to crypto" to let me know you made it to the end of the video. And that's like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all next time. Farewell.